The Shroud of Turin is a 4.4 meter long, 1.3 meter wide strip of linen cloth bearing the front and back images of a man with his hands crossed over his loins. He has long hair and appears to bear the marks of torture and crucifixion, together with many bloodstains. Since 1578, the shroud has been kept in Turin Cathedral and occasionally put on display. The Catholic Church makes no formal statement regarding its authenticity, regarding it simply as an object of veneration. The study of the Turin shroud, particularly by those who believe in its authenticity, is known as syndology, from the word syndone, denoting the linen cloth used to wrap a dead body. Syndologists believe that the image of Jesus was imprinted on the cloth through processes of natural sweating and bleeding, paranormal, a burst of radiation emitted at the moment of the resurrection, or supernatural. The earliest record of the shroud dates back to 1355, when it was displayed in a chapel at Leray in France. In 1453, Margaret de Charnay sold the cloth to the Dukes of Savoy, and it was under their stewardship that the shroud became famous as the actual burial shroud of Jesus. Tracing any provenance for the shroud prior to 1355 is difficult, although it is widely identified with the image of Edessa, a sacred cloth bearing Jesus' face, kept in the holy city of Edessa, in Turkey on the border with Syria, until 944, when it was transferred to Constantinople, from where it disappeared in 1203. In 1978, a scientific dimension was added to the shroud mystery with the work of the Shroud of Turin research project. The STURP team used tape to lift fibers and residues from the shroud, and these were subjected to a range of tests. Some of the samples were passed to respected microanalysts whose analysis was devastating to syndology. They claimed to have found pigments of ochre from the body image and vermilion from the bloodstains, apparently proving that the image had been painted. The STURP team, many of whom had become convinced syndologists, strongly refuted these findings. It was later claimed that analysis proved that the blood was real human blood, type AB, although this itself is widely disputed, and it is believed most likely that the findings of blood are false positives caused by traces of collagen from rabbit skin glue, a common ingredient in tempera, used as a binding pigment in medieval painting. The case against the authenticity of the shroud is convincing. When it first appeared in the 14th century, the Bishop of Troyes, Henry of Poitiers, was tasked with investigating it. He reported that the shroud was a painted cloth, and even tracked down the artist responsible. Historians describe multiple points of similarity between the iconography of the shroud and depictions of Christ from mid-14th century Europe, such as a gory emphasis on blood. They even track, via medieval and later depictions of the shroud, the addition of a loincloth to the originally nude image on the shroud, in deference to developing notions of pious modesty in the late 16th century. They explain the origins of the shroud as a prop in a popular medieval play in which the empty tomb of Christ is visited by various Marys who are confronted by an angel brandishing a winding cloth on which is shown the image of the tortured Jesus. He is one of many skeptics who point to the crudity of the image and the mismatches between the dimensions and layout of the actual image and those that would be expected if it were really somehow imprinted from a genuine corpse. The disparity between the clarity of the positive and negative images of the shroud today has prompted a lot of speculation about its creation through a form of primitive photography. None other than Leonardo da Vinci, possibly as a self-portrait, was put forward as a likely artist, using esoteric knowledge of early photographic technology as part of a subversive mission to infiltrate aspects of heretical Gnostic Christianity into mainstream Catholicism. What are your thoughts on the Shroud of Turin? Please let us know. Give the channel a subscribe, and see you in the next one.